Good morning, Otherworldlies. This is Juliana Angel, your Dark Mass Diva. Hey. So, that last sex topic I did got a lot of views and a fair amount of likes. So, I thought I would do another one. Did not get in trouble for it. So, I'm going to do another one, okay? Well, it looks like you guys liked it. Alright. This one is about whack dick. Alright? Dude, if you give her some whack dick, you are a bad person. That is wrong of you, alright? There's nothing cool about you once you gave her some whack dick. It is over for you. Okay, let me tell you what whack dick is, okay? Alright. Okay, if you are a small guy, that's not your fault. But do not be a small guy and go around and brag to her about how big it is. Okay, you're lying. That's like saying you make a lot of money when you're poor. Okay, first of all, you don't think she's going to find out. Okay, you're lying. Alright, don't lie about your skills when you don't have any. Alright, don't say you do this, that, and the other in bed when you don't. I mean, you might have done it for one or two girls, but if you're not going to do it for her, don't brag about how good you are at it. If you're not going to do it for her, okay, or if you've never done it before, don't say it just to get her into bed. Okay, and I know you think you're a cool guy if you're not lying about having feelings for someone. No, you're not a cool guy if you're not a cool guy if you're doing that, but I mean, you're not a cool guy if you're lying about sex. Because, believe it or not, women like to enjoy it. Oh my God, yes, we like to actually enjoy it. We don't like to be led on and think that we're going to have fun, and then you pull some whack shit on us. Okay? We're actually letting you have our cat. And then you do something really gross and give us some whack dick. Okay, so we're having to go through that experience with you. Alright? Now, I'm going to describe something which is going to make me sound like a mean person. But it's you. You're the bad guy. Okay? Not me. Here's the thing. Now, everybody should disclose if you have something that's incurable, right? People should have medical records ready to show each other, right? Alright, we're all modern day. Most of us aren't virgins, right? Okay. Now, so we all have papers to show each other. We all are honest today, right? So, why don't you guys let us know if you have erectile dysfunction? I know why, because you know we won't sleep with you. So you don't tell us. So you'll date a lady for a while, and you have all this time to tell us, and you purposely withhold the information. So the lights are out, and you go to have sex with us, and you give us 2 inches, and we wonder what that squishy sensation is, and you have an orgasm, and we don't, because we're like, what is that squishy sensation? Alright, when you're not engorged with blood, we can't feel anything. We don't even get clit stimulation, okay? You have an orgasm, and we don't. Alright, it feels good to you. Alright? It doesn't to us. We just feel this weird squishy sensation. And you're like, thank you, afterwards, and we're just lying there like, what the hell just happened? And you're like, I got an erection, and we're like, you did? Because it's like this. Here's your dick, right there. It's like 1.5 inches, and that was your erection. And you're like, yeah, I have ED, and you're like, why didn't you tell me? And you're like, well, you turned me on, and you're so tight, and it felt so good, and like, yeah, to you, I didn't feel anything. It felt squishy. If you're not engorged with blood, we don't feel it. But you felt a sensation because we're tight. Because you're rubbing against us. It felt, and then you came and, ew. That's disgusting. You put us through that. We were seeing you this whole time, dating you this whole time. You could have told us this entire time that you had that problem. We could have given you a hand job or something. I mean, it could have slipped through our fingers or something. I mean, why do you put people through stuff like that? That is some whack dick. Even if it looks big, if it's not erect, even if it looks big, it feels squishy because it's not engorged. It doesn't feel good to us. And if it's an inch hard, it still doesn't feel good to us. Okay, that's like a clitoris. I'm just keeping it real. That's really mean of you to do. That's messed up. Okay, that's some whack dick. And stop lying that you are good at oral when you're not. Did you just have that many women fake it and lie to you that you think you're good at it? Stop trying to give it to us when we say we don't like it, or we just don't think you're good at it. Stop. If we like your hand or something else, give us that. Stop being whack in bed. Especially when we're good in bed. And we know you're enjoying it and going crazy and everything like that. And we obviously don't like what you're doing. Stop being whack in bed. Women actually like to enjoy sex. Stop wasting our time by being whack. We're going to get rid of you. And most of us are ladylike and we don't want to tell everyone why we stopped seeing you. But if you're really that whack in bed and you lie and you don't tell us about your ED and you don't tell us that you were lying about all this sex that you were lying about, women aren't going to put up with that. There's things women don't put up with. We don't put up with you not listening, and we don't put up with whack dick. I mean, we have a better time when we're by ourselves. We have an easier time in life being celibate, because at least we know we're not getting sex. We have an easier time sporadically just hooking up with a guy every once in a while. I mean, I would rather just be celibate than be seeing someone and get some whack dick. That's just annoying. I'd rather just go without sex than get some whack dick. I mean, why do you put somebody through that? That is so wrong. You're not a nice guy for that. Why are you doing that? So if you have ED, you need to tell somebody. Don't play it off like, oh, let's just skip the foreplay, let's just go right to, okay. And then squish, 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 squish. And you're like, what was that? No wonder he wanted to skip the foreplay, because he didn't want me to know that was some whack-ass ED. Why? You're just so wrong for that. So, ladies, don't fall for that. Guys will not tell you when they have erectile dysfunction. Find out if he has any blood pressure issues. Does he smoke cigarettes? Does he drink a lot? Find out things like that. Does he have emotional problems? I mean, you never know. Does he watch a lot of porn? I mean, you really can't tell who has it and who doesn't until you find out that he doesn't want you to know. And, you know, and he may say, yeah, I knew because I was so attracted to you that I could overcome it. Yeah, you gave me an inch, bro. That wasn't overcoming it. You had an orgasm, but I didn't feel anything but squish, 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 squish. That was so freaking gross. and then you have to like sit and tell your friends like he had ED, and they're like, I mean, he couldn't get it up at all. I'm like, it was like one of those tiny mushrooms you see in the produce section, and to him it was a hard-on, but to me it was like a spongy ghost boner. Like, what do I look like, a haunted house or something? I go, I couldn't, I can't keep seeing somebody like that put me through something like that. I mean, no nice guy would put a woman through that. That is just so wrong. Quit telling people your dick is big when it's not. I mean, be honest if it's small. Because if it's erect and it's just on the smaller side, at least it's erect. Don't be lying about your size. Because women can, deal with a guy that's, average or a little smaller as long as it's erect. We can deal with you not lying about stuff. Don't like build it up and then it's not, and you're just like, oh my god, try not to lie about it. Like, it's 4 inches and you're calling it the monster this whole time. You're like, what kind of monster is that? Like, why have you been calling it the monster this entire time? You're just wondering, like, whoa, who has that thing been scaring? What are you talking about? Like, don't mess with people's minds like that. Like, what are you doing? It's just don't do things that are wrong like that. Because we have to tell our friends what happened, and it's just like humiliating. They're like, he didn't say anything at all. You're like, that dick was just that whack. I can't describe how bad it was. And I was just lying there going, what? Squish, 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 squish. Yeah. And it happens. And you don't know who has it and who doesn't. Even younger guys can have it now. And it's like, the thing is, like, okay, I recommend that you keep your body count as low as you possibly can. But I recommend that you don't stay with anybody who gives you any whack dick. You need to get rid of them right away. Don't even stay with anyone who because you can't sleep with them again. Absolutely not. Anybody who lies and withholds information like that and puts you through that, I mean, because they get off. You don't. Somehow they get enough blood flow to where they get off. I don't even know how. Like, where is the blood in there? My phone just made a clicking noise. I guess the phone knows where the blood flow is. I sure don't. But they somehow have an orgasm. I'm like, how? Bro, it's just, no. Don't put somebody through that. If you have ever had ED, don't tell somebody that while you're dating them so they know. So they can bring like if they have a toy or something, or why don't you bring one with you, or do something so you're not ruining whatever relationship you have with that woman, or else she's going to leave you. She's really, and she's going to end up having to tell her friends what happened, because you really think she's not. I mean, I'm a lady, but I had to tell my friends. I'm just like, you guys, I'm trying to say this in the nicest way possible, but the dick was whack and this is why. And they're like, oh wow, that's really bad. He really, and yeah, squish, 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 yeah. The dick was that whack. Like, he should have told you. And I was like, yeah, I know. But of course he didn't, because he wanted to get away with having what he called sex. And You know, I can't believe he wasn't embarrassed. And you really should be embarrassed to do that to somebody. I mean, we women, we have body issues. Like, we're embarrassed when we gain weight, or when we have stretch marks, when we have a baby, or stuff like that. Okay, but you basically like to see us naked, right? I mean, you're not grossed out. I mean, naked women are basically nice to look at. Your 1-inch dick is not nice in any way, shape, or form. You really should be embarrassed by that. Your spongy ghost boner, there's nothing nice about it. Like, there's probably some clitorises bigger than that. I'm just saying. That was just a sad state of affairs. And even if it's bigger than that, if it's not erect, it's just going to feel squishy and weird. We're going to feel the condom. We're going to feel something weird going on down there. But if it's not erect, it's not going to feel good inside us. It's just going to feel like there's some sponge inside us going in and out. It's just going to feel, it's really going to feel strange. It's not going to feel good. To us. To you. And it doesn't matter if we're super, super, super tight, because it's going to feel good to you and not to us. Because something hard is supposed to be in there in order for it to feel good to us. And if you have ED, you are not hard. And that's just not cool. You are a bad guy. And not a cool guy. You're just not. That is just a wrong thing for you to do. So, you're in the ranks of those guys that think you're a nice guy. But, you're not. That's just wrong. So, don't do that. Bring something with you, or do something else, or she's not going to enjoy it. Why would she? It's just wrong. And then don't go brag that you had sex with her, because that was not sex that you had. Because if you go talking about the sex you had with her, she's going to go tell everybody about the sex you did not have with her. Why don't you go talk to a doctor about that? Or just stop trying to have sex. Because trying to lay down some whack dick is wrong. I mean, I wouldn't have a problem with it if you weren't trying to go around doing that to people. I mean, that's like a woman who smells really bad and just goes around and tries to stick people's face in it or something. That's kind of like what you're doing. I think you should stop. Go to the doctor, get some pills, or stop smoking, or just find out what's wrong with you. I know you're not going to do the right thing and tell the lady you're dating that you have a problem. It's not going to magically go away. She's not going to enjoy the sex. She's going to make a YouTube video about it years later. and put you on blast. When she's having a very nice sex life with the guy she's with now. Talking about some whack dick she got a long time ago, making fun of you. So, I'm getting some good dick now. But, it wasn't always like that. As soon as I got that whack dick from that guy, I'm like, see you later. Don't put up with whack dick, ever. Ladies, you do not have to put up with whack dick. And that's just downright abusive of him, so don't put up with whack dick, okay? Alright, otherworldlies. You guys have a nice day. Bye-bye.